It's, why are functions first-class citizens in Python? Who can tell me?
We can assign a function in variables, and we can pass the function object to a function.
Mhm.
We can return function from the function,
Mhm.
so it is first class
Okay.
citizen.
Yeah, excellent. Who is this, Lalit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, as Lalit said, yes, all those, those privileged. So those are, privilege rights and privileges. Okay, enjoyed by functions in only in Python and JavaScript as well, of course. That we're talking about Python, right? So that's why they are first-class citizens. Okay, all right. See, as he said, as Lalit said, see, we can pass a function to another function, right? Pass a function as argument to another function. We can return a function from a function, right? And then you can modify a function. Also, you can assign a function to a variable, right? Okay, let's quickly see. Look over here. Okay, as we did this before. Okay, but I'm doing a quick recap. Okay, so this is just a normal function, right? Def increment one num return num plus one, right? So now, what are we doing here? We're just assigning this function increment one function to another variable. See, so this is possible in Python. Right? Okay, all right. So as I showed you last time, okay, they are pointing to the same one. They're pointing to the same function, right? These are just levels, right? Okay, we talked about this. These are just levels. So both levels are pointing, they're pointing to the same function. Okay, so you can call either this with this name or this name. Okay, all right. So they do the same thing, right? So and then let's look at another example. Over here, okay, so what we have done is, see, I have one function here, right? Increment one function, and there's another function here, decrement, right? So now I have another function, right? Def my function, right? And then what's happening here? Okay, can somebody tell me what's happening here in this function? Okay, what's so something new about this? What is it? It's taking what as an argument? The highlighted one. What is it?
Function object.
Yeah, it's taking a
Function object.
function. Yeah, it's taking a function as argument, right? Okay, so which this kind of thing you cannot do in other languages. For example, as I said before, right? C, C++, Java. Okay, you cannot do that. Okay, but here you can pass a function to a function. See, this is a function. You're passing a function to a function. Okay, all right, and then see what's happening here. See, okay, over here. I think last time we were here. So see here, see what's happening here. My function, you're calling my function, right? You're calling my function with what? What is this one? What is this? What is that?
Object.
No, no,
Object of function.
object. It's a function, right?
Yeah.
Increment one is a function, right? So this function, see, we are passing increment one function to my function, right? Okay, and then see, we're passing two arguments. Okay, one is just just a number, right? Okay, so what happens? Okay, so when you call like this, right? So the execution goes here, right? And this func will be what? Increment one, right? And num will be what?
5.
5. Very good. So and then what's happening here? What is happening there?
Calling the function.
Yes. Which function?
Increment 1.
Yeah. And whatever is passed, right? So we have passed what? Increment 1. So increment 1 function is being called with the argument what? 5, right? Numbers
5.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
5.
So now This means where does your execution go? Your execution goes here now, right? See? Now your execution
Increment
goes
one.
here. Yes. And then 5. And then what does it return? 5 plus 1, 6. And that gets returned where? That gets returned here. 6 is returned here. And then this return will return 6 to where? Right here, right? The whole thing. Okay. And then that's why you get 6. Okay. All right. So do I need to draw it, or did you understand? I think you should be able to understand by now, right? So do you think I need to draw and show you? What do you think, guys? Or are you good? Are you
Yes,
okay with
sir.
this?
Yeah, yes, sir, please.
Okay. Okay. You want me to draw?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So I'll do that now. Whiteboard. Okay. Let. All right. See. Now what's going on here is this. So we have 3 functions, right? Okay, I will, okay, let's see. Am I going to write it? Okay, okay, let me just write it up so that it's clear to you. So we have what? Def, right? Well, it's a different pen. Okay, so def, right? I'll just write INC, okay? INC1, right? And then I'll just write, and because I want to save some space. Okay, and then return what? N plus 1, right? Okay, this is one function, right? Another function is def, right? DEC1, okay, decrement 1, and then I'll just call it N, okay? Return N minus 1, okay? Right? And the third function is what? My function, def my underscore function, right? And then it takes what? A func as an argument, right? And then num, right? I'll just write N for this as well. So, and then it returns, returns what? False, whatever is passed, right? And then with the argument N, right? So, okay. So, let me show you this. Okay, so when we call like this, so for example, when you call like my function, right? And then you pass what? Increment 1, I'll just write inc1, right? Inc1, and then 5, right? Okay, so what happens? So I'll show you the whole, you know, what happens step by step. So, okay. So first thing, okay, let me write the line numbers so that we can keep track. This is line number 1, line number 2, right? Line number 3, line number 4, line number, sorry, line number 5, line number 6, and line 7. Last one is 7. Okay. All right. So now, okay. So where does my execution begin? Okay. Somebody tell me which line does my execution begin? When I run that cell, when I run that cell, where does the execution begin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Then execution.
Store execution 7.
Yeah. Yeah. The execution begins at 7, right? So yeah, very good. So it begins here because all these, see, all these are what? These are just function definitions, right? So, you know, they don't execute it unless they are called, right? So your execution begins here, right? Okay, line number 7. Is everybody good with that? Okay, so this is execution 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And next, where does the execution go? Which line?
5.
1,
1 or 5?
5.
5, right? Because see, you're calling this function, right? My function. That's why you go to line number 5, right? So which is this one right here. Okay, so execution 2. Okay, this is execution 2. That means you call that function, right? And then what is the so what is this function replaced by? inc1, right? So that's
1, yeah.
so now after that, where does the execution go? Because see, why is that, why that is so? Because see, so we're passing this first one, okay, will go here, and then the second one will go here, as everybody knows, right? Okay, that's why func is what? Inc1 now, right? Inc on the screen. Everybody good with this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. Okay. Now tell me, now after execution 2, which line does it go to?
1,
From there 1? How come 1?
6.
6, right? Yeah, it has to go to 6, right? So here, it goes here. Execution goes here, right? Okay. So now this is execution 3, right? Very good. So now, okay. Now, after that, what's happening here? So we're calling, see, func is what? Func is inc1, right?
Inc1.
So we're calling inc1 with what? 5, right? N is 5, right? N is 5, right? So basically, this will be basically what? It's going to be what? inc1, right? And 5, right? Isn't that so? Everybody okay?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So now,
Yes, sir.
very good. So where does the execution go from here?
1.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, all right. Yeah, because we're calling, let me just do that. I don't want to, clutter too much. There's too much clutter. Okay. So, okay. So this is 3, right? Okay. After 3, it goes, you said that it goes to 1 because we're calling inc1, right? So it goes here. That's right. So execution 4 goes here, right? And then next, where does it go? Which line does it go?
2.
2. Very good. Yes, it goes to 2, right? This is execution 5. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now what happens at execution 5? After I've run return n plus 1, okay, what gets returned?
6,
6, right? Yeah, 6. Why? Because n was what? When we passed, n
5.
was 5. Because this n is 5,
5, yeah.
right? And this is 5, and 5 is passed here. That means this is 5, right? And then you return 5 plus 1, which is 6, right?
6.
So you return 6. And then you return where? From there, where does the execution go?
7.
6.
7 or
6.
6, right? Not 7, okay.
6
Very
return
good. Yes,
replaced by 6. Yeah.
very good, very good. Because always remember, that, when you call a function and the function returns, you return back to the caller. Okay, who is the caller now? The caller is this one, right? Isn't that so? So you return back here. Okay, you return back to the caller. So that means execution 6 will be again here. This will be execution 6, right? Okay, and then as Lalit said, I think it was Lalit. Okay, so you can just replace the whole thing, this whole thing with what? With 6. Okay, whatever you
6.
get. Yeah, very good. Okay, the number 6, right? The number 6. And then from there, where does the execution go?
7.
7. Yes, it goes to 7 because, see, now because this function hasn't returned, this call hasn't returned, right? Okay, because it went there, it called this, but now it's going to return, right? This returns 6. So it's going to return here. That means this is execution 7. Okay, and then so it returns back to this, the caller. This is the caller, right? So this whole thing can be replaced by what?
6.
6. The whole thing is replacing the return value. So whole thing can be replaced by 6. And when you print this, right, in that code, we have print, right? When you print this, you're getting 6 there. Okay, that's how it works. Right? Okay, see here, we got 6 there. Okay, so similarly, you can do the same thing for this, and then you will see that you'll get a 4 there. Okay, all right. So was that clear? Was that traced? We traced through, right? We traced through, right? Different functions. See, it's just a matter of who is calling, right? And then from there, it's the idea is very simple, right? Okay, idea is very simple. Although when you do it yourself, okay, you'll find it that it's very simple. Okay, so everybody okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay. All right. So now let's look at another example. See, look at this. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. So this is a function, right? So what's unusual about this function? Can somebody tell me what is unusual or something new to you? Okay? What's happening there? Anything you notice anything there? It is returning what?
Function.
Returning a function. See, multiply 2.
Function
multiply-
object, yeah.
Yeah. See, it's returning a function, right? So see now, so a function can return a function, right? Okay. So I suppose that for this one also I'll draw for you guys, because I know you guys are, I think it's hard for you to maybe just trace through just like that. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll trace through this one as well. Just like before. Okay. All right. So let me clear this. Okay. All right. So let me write down the function, right? So the function is def, right? Def, and then double. Okay. And then we have def multiply 2. Multiply 2, right? And then I have num n, right? Okay. And then return 2 times num. Okay. All right. And then over here we have what? Again, return multiply 2. Multiply 2. Okay, so this is one function, right? This is one function. So now let's see what's going on here. So what we're doing here is num2 is equal to you're calling double, right? Double with the argument nothing, right? No argument. No argument, right? And then you have what? Result is equal to num2 and then another 3 here. And then we're printing the result, right? Okay. So print, yeah, result. Okay. Okay, who can trace through this? Okay. Can you guys trace through this like I did before? Okay, what I'll do is
Yes,
okay,
sir.
yes, you can. Okay, let's find out. Okay, so let me write down the line numbers so that it's easy. Okay. All right. So where should I write it? I should have. Okay. So this is line number 1. Okay, line number 1. Line number 2. Line number 3. Line number 4. All right, that's it, right? Okay, I'll look at here also. Line number 5. Rather, okay, I'll write here because I don't have space there. 5, 6. Okay, there's 2 parallel lines. They indicate lines, right? Line number. Okay, and 7. Just remember that. All right, so now you guys tell me, where does the execution begin? Which line number?
5.
5. Everybody agrees? Everybody agrees, or yes or no, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, good, good. Very good. Yeah, your execution begins here, right? Okay. Your execution begins here, right? And then, yeah, let's call it execution 1, right? Okay. So what are we doing on that line?
Calling function double.
Yeah, we're calling the function double. Okay. Yeah. So that means where does the execution go next? Give me the line
1.
number. 1. Very good. Yeah. So see, we're calling, right? We're calling double means yes, of course it has to go here, right? So now this is execution 2, right? Because we went here, right? Okay, so after that, okay, where does it go? Where does it go, guys? Line number 2. 2 or 3?
No, 4.
Okay, 4. Okay, okay. Yeah, because see, this is just function definition, right? But we're not calling it, right? We're not calling it. So of course, right? We're talking about execution, right? So this doesn't get executed, no, right? Okay, so that means where does the execution go? Somebody said that just moments ago.
4.
4, right? Very good. Right. So the execution goes here because that's just a definition. So it doesn't get executed, right? So what's happening there now? Okay, what is happening in line number 4? Execution 3.
We are returning the object of mult by 2.
Yeah, we're returning the function, right? Let's use the
Yeah.
word function. Okay, just use the word function. Okay, all right, rather than object. Okay, use the word function. Okay, all right, very good, very good. It's Lalit, right? Very good. So here, so this is the function, right? This is a function. Okay, this function is being so you're not calling it, mind. Okay, this note is note that note that there's no this parenthesis, right, after mul by 2. That means you're not calling it, you're just returning the function. That's a reference to that function. So mul by 2 is the reference to this function right here. Okay, this function right here. Okay, def mul by 2. So this function is being returned. Okay, all right. It's not being executed. No, it's not execution. It's return. The function is returned. Okay, see now what's happening here? Function. Okay, you guys tell me. I'll write here. What's happening? Function. What is the name of the function? Mult by 2, right? Okay, underscore 2 is returned, right? The whole function is returned, not called, just returned. Okay, all right. So now we are at execution 3, right? Okay, now where does the execution go next from there?
5.
Okay, it goes to 5. Why does it go to 5?
Because the function return the value.
Yes, because it returns to the caller. The caller is this one, right? So it returns back to the caller, right? Okay, so that means you can replace the whole thing with what?
Object
No, don't say
mult
object.
by 2.
Okay, don't say
Mult by
don't say
2 function.
function. Don't say object. Okay,
Yeah.
don't say object. Just say function. Okay, be specific. Okay, object would be anything, right? Okay, all right. So which function is it? Mult by 2. See, because that's
Mult
being
by 2, yeah.
yeah, this is being returned, right? So that's why you can replace that by what? Mult by 2, the function, right? Okay, you're not calling it. You still haven't called it, right? Okay, so now, where does it go next? Okay, next what happens? What happens next? What happens? So we replace this with mul by 2, and then there's some assignment taking place there, right? So what is this being assigned to?
Num2.
Num2, yeah, right? See, we're assigning right here, see? Okay, so now, so num2, see both num2, okay, and these both are pointing to what? The function this function right here. Okay. So
Function
this-
location.
right. So these both are pointing to the same function. Okay. So now when you do right here, see num2, and then you're calling with 3, then what is that? Okay. So num2, right?
Mult by 2.
Yes, that's mul by 2. Num2 is mul by 2. So basically you're calling mul by 2 with the argument 3, right? Basically, so that means you're calling this function right here, this function, right? So at that point, what happens? You pass 3, right? So that means this 3 will go here, right? N will be 3, right? And then return what will, this will evaluate to what? So it's just not num, it's N, right? So N is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, right? And 6 gets
6, yeah.
so, and then you come back where? Okay, you come back here, right? You come back here, and then what happens? This whole thing is replaced by what?
Replaced by 6.
6. Very good, 6. And what is the value of result now? Because this is assigned here.
6.
6. Result is 6, right? Result is 6. And then when you print result, what do you get?
6.
6, right? So that should be our output, right? See, that's what we got here. See, 6. All right. See, now, yeah, of course, it looks messy, right? I mean, you're going from here to there, there to there, there to there. Okay. All right. But if you actually trace through it, okay, you'll be okay. Right. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So that means, you know, so basically, so these are the capabilities of functions within Python. Okay. All right. So far, okay. Now you understood that, okay, functions are first-class citizens. Okay. They can be assigned to another variable. Function can be assigned to another variable. Also, a function can take another function as argument, right? And then a function can return a function, right? Or a function can return a function. That's the last example. Okay.